gosh, my hair is so big and fluffy right now. It's getting a bit out of control. Hi everyone, it's Laura, and this video is going to be showing myself and my friend Kelly, who also has type 1 diabetes, taking on the Race for Life, and in particular it's a pretty muddy run, which means we're going to be running through mud obstacles as well as doing the Race for Life. So we wanted to show myself using my insulin pump and Kelly using her injections and how different they can be, and any challenges we come across along the way, etc. The reasons we're doing this is because next year in March we're going to be working with some diabetes consultants and trainees to kind of show them what real life with diabetes is actually like and the challenges we come up against. Obviously this isn't a normal day with diabetes because normally I wouldn't be running a Race for Life or running through mud obstacles, but it's one of those things that I wanted to do, and diabetes is going to have to come with me, and I'm just going to have to figure it out as we go. So Kelly's going to be doing exactly the same. If you have any comments or questions or anything, just put them in the comments box below on this video, and I hope you all enjoy it. Kelly has arrived, and she's going to go through what she's taking to the Race for Life with her.
Okay, so I need orange juice, that needs to go in here. Jelly babies, just in case, so I've got another treatment. I would have this meter normally, but it's not going to fit in this tiny little bum bag. So
I love your 80s bum bag.
Oh,
it's so cool.
So here's I have my nano, this is the meter, strips. Have my pricker, have my inhaler, have a biscuit.
Cool.
That is everything that I need to go with me.
Does it all fit?
See, it
I'm gonna zoom in. It looks brilliant. Your Fox's biscuit is just poking out the top. You're definitely gonna lose that within like a couple of minutes.
So I'll have to improvise a little bit and find other places to put things.
Excellent.
Yes.
Cool.
That's everything I need.
We'll figure it out. Cool. Okay, so here we have my Race for Life essentials that I'm going to be taking with me. So we've got kids plasters with animal faces on them. That's in case my trainers rub on my feet. I've got a little clip here for my cannula. So when I take off my pump to go through the mud obstacles, I can put this over my cannula to protect me and hopefully stop any mud from getting in it. A finger pricker, got my test strips, glucose meter, fake Lucozade, water, because hydration is always important. Factor 50, because as many of you know, I'm very fair and pale and I get sunburned very, very easily. Sunglasses, Dextro gel, just in case the Lucozade isn't working. I've got more of these, so I might grab an extra one for Kelly in case she needs it. Okay, so one of my most essential items is my hidden body band, which is wrapped around my tummy. And basically my insulin pump sits in this little pouch here, still clipped to me, just on my side here. But because I have nowhere to put it, it's not kind of just tucked into my shorts. It's nicely tucked away, and I can just take this off when I'm going through the mud obstacles.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go! Big cheer, ladies, big cheer! Big, big cheer. Love the whips.
Run. So we've just gone for our first mud obstacle. As you can see, it's very muddy. I have to check my blood sugars right now because I didn't get a chance to check them before the race started. But as you can see, there's no way I'm going to probably be pricking my fingers. So that's one of the diabetes problems we're going to come up against today.
It's really warm today as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's quite, we'd want to test a little bit more, but obviously
Not going to be able to.
not going to happen.
Took off my pump through the first obstacle because I didn't want it getting covered in mud, but I don't think I'm going to put it back on now because I'm going to have to keep taking it on and off. I don't feel hypo, do you?
No, I feel absolutely fine.
I feel okay. I feel very
Back on the
We're
track.
not on the race course, I would
We're not on the race course though.
Yeah, I didn't really can't really take it out hypo, so the best thing for it is probably to rinse off.
We're going to go in the water and just wash ourselves.
Hey! So I made it through the Pretty Muddy 5k. Oh my goodness, it was an experience and one that I really, really loved. I have this to prove that I done it. Pink Army. Oh, there we go. Pink Army. Race for Life 2015. So yesterday I didn't run as much as what I'd hoped to have run. There were many reasons for that. I think last weekend really showed me how quickly things can go wrong. So I had a bit of a hypo last weekend, actually quite a big hypo, and it was a prolonged one, and there was a whole multitude of things that caused it. And I think deep down that really worried me with this weekend. I just felt that actually because of the heat, the exercise, and didn't consume as many carbohydrates as I'd like to have done before I raced. I just felt that actually I'd rather walk a little bit, and then walk and run is probably the best way to do it, really. A couple of things that I did notice yesterday were it kind of hit me a little bit hard. So during the run I needed to carry this little handy bum bag, waist bag, running bag, whatever you wish to call it. Didn't really see anyone else carrying bags. Not a problem, but for me it was a bit of a problem, because the only reason I needed to carry this bag is because of my type 1 diabetes. If I didn't have type 1 diabetes, I wouldn't need to be carrying a bag. Another problem that I faced was during the run, there was a time where I felt maybe my blood sugars were either low or they were starting to drop low. I couldn't test. These hands here were absolutely caked in mud. So what am I supposed to do? I wouldn't have been able to wash them off very well. Even when we ran into the sea after our run. Brilliant. Good work, Laura. I still couldn't test. I couldn't see what my blood sugars were doing, so what could I do? At the end of the race, consumed approximately 17.5 grams of carbohydrate. Wasn't able to test before I consumed it, so just went with the flow. Got back to Laura's after a lovely long walk, which I must say added about another 5k on to our race yesterday. So in fairness, we probably did about 10k. So I got home, back to Laura's, and blood sugars were, let's have a look, 10. You can't even see any of this, can you? There you go. 10. So winning, brilliant. Drive home, interesting. Went home with absolutely covered in mud. Just thought, okay, I just get home, shower, no problem. Got a few weird looks, but hey ho. And then at home, I just felt absolutely exhausted, and I think that was a mixture of my week at work. I've been doing a lot of hours on placement, and obviously doing this race, and I don't know, and I think it's a whole mixture of things and the reasons why we were doing the race, so the emotions and things. My blood sugars were about 12, and I had quite something heavy carbohydrate to keep me going. After eating quite a heavy carb based meal, I had a few hours sleep. Yeah, woke up again with blood sugars of 13, so the likelihood was that they were higher than what they were higher whilst I was asleep. So I woke quite thirsty, feeling a little bit groggy. Just the whole, who knows, the whole diabetes game. And then I suppose it was about midnight. I just feel a little bit odd, a little bit, I can't explain it, but recently when I have hypo, so that's episodes of low blood sugar, I've been starting to feel quite nauseous. So around about midnight I started to feel a bit I suppose not quite right, and at 20 to 1 my blood sugar reading was 4.4. so for anyone without type 1 diabetes, that's a brilliant reading. It's a good reading for me, fantastic, but to be able to comfortably sleep through the night and not worry that it's going to drop even lower, I needed to drink one of these. So this has got 21 grams of carbohydrate in. This should have kept me going through the night, and actually did keep me going through the night. So winner! So I woke with a blood sugar of about 5.4, I think it was. So all in all, brilliant. But although diabetes throws in its challenges, we made it through.
So it's the end of the Race for Life, and it's actually the next day now, so it's Sunday, and I just wanted to go over what happened diabetes-wise during the race and what happened diabetes-wise after the race. And I've just realised I've got some really sexy sunburn going on there, so skin before, skin after. I look really lobster coloured at the moment, and I apologise for that. Obviously the factor 50 isn't enough for me. Is there one up from factor 50? Like, I think you can get total sunblock. I think I need that. Beforehand, after breakfast, and just as Kelly was arriving, I had a hypo. So treated with Lucozade. I think my blood sugars were about 3.2. Wasn't a massive deal, but I was a little bit worried, and I was thinking, am I going to need to take extra Lucozade with me now? I only had a really small bag, so there wasn't much space for me to put extra hypo treatments in. I was wondering what was going to happen because it was getting quite warm outside, if I was going to have more hypos, if I was going to have to keep stopping during the race to treat hypos, etc. So that was kind of playing on my mind a little bit. So the first obstacle that we came across was a beautiful pink inflatable swimming pool filled with disgusting, thick, gloopy, greeny, just horrible mud. So we crawled through it on our hands and knees, and it was amazing actually. It was really good fun. But coming up to the obstacle, I saw it and I was like, no way am I keeping my pump on for that. My pump will just become clogged with mud. So I took my pump off, put it in my bag, gave it to my other half who carried that for me. And once I'd gotten out of the swimming pool, I looked at my cannula and it was just covered in mud. So I was like, there's no way I'm putting my pump back on now. So I figured out that I would only be leaving it off for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes tops. And I'd always been told that I could leave it off, especially if I'm exercising, for about an hour and a half. So I didn't think this would be a problem. If my blood sugars went a bit high at the end, then I could just correct to bring them down. So throughout the race, I felt absolutely fine. I have really, really good hypo awareness, so I didn't feel that my blood sugars were dropping at all. I didn't feel that they were high. I didn't feel particularly thirsty or anything like that. Got to the end of the race, everything was amazing, covered in mud. The only problem that I had during was that I probably would have wanted to check my blood sugars at least once during the race, but our hands and arms and everything were covered in mud. I'm only going to check my blood sugars on my fingers anyway. But there was no way I was even going to risk just pouring water on them just from a bottle and trying to wash it that way, because I don't think it would have worked. Seriously, the mud was like caked on. The sun dried it within a couple of minutes and my skin was just horrible. I know mud's supposed to be good for you, but hell no would I do that and pay for it in a spa. So I didn't get to check my blood sugars until I got home, and mine were 14 and Kelly's were 10. So I changed my cannula and took a correction dose through the pump to bring them down, and then I just sat around for about an hour just like editing and taking pictures from my camera and stuff. And then about an hour later I said to my other half, I don't feel right, I think I've got ketones. So I checked, my heart was pounding, I'd literally just been sat on the sofa. I checked my ketones and they were 1.1. So I said to him, because we were going out about an hour later for a barbecue, I said, right, I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to go and rest. Took some water with me, drank the water, and stupidly, because I always forget that I can inject insulin, I took another correction dose through the pump. At that point my blood sugars were about 18. And I know that when I've got ketones and when my blood sugars are high, correcting through the pump does absolutely nothing for me. I need to correct with a pen, but I just forget that I can inject. After all these years of injecting, you'd think that I wouldn't forget that I can actually do it, but I did. Up to about 4 o'clock, my other half came in and he checked my ketones for me and they gone up to 1.7. So then light bulb moment, and I was like, I can inject with a pen, why didn't I do this before? So injected with my pen, and amazingly, in 45 minutes after injecting with the pen and drinking 2 pints of water, ketones had gone down to 0.4. And I was like, that's brilliant, go to the barbecue and I can eat. I went to a friend's house and had some drinks, and I had squash. It got to about 8:30 and everyone was like, Laura, you just need to go home. Like, you look exhausted, you look knackered, you look rough, just go to bed. So So I did, went home on my own, in bed by 9 o'clock, tucked up in my quilt because it was so nice to be able to relax and not have to worry about doing anything. And everything was fine. I went to bed last night with blood sugars of 9 point something, and this morning when I woke up they were 6.5. All in all, the day was great. It was amazing fun. We did it in memory of our friend Tarnwen, and I hope she was kind of like watching over us, laughing at us, falling, slipping, sliding, jumping, running through the mud. I'm going to do it again next year. I'm going to do things differently with my diabetes now that I've done this, so I can use this as kind of like a learning curve and just see how I get on next year, really. So I hope this video has been entertaining and insightful and helpful if you're planning on doing the Muddy Run next year. And thank you all very much for watching. That's it from us. Bye!